Johners!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Buckets, aka Buckles Chucklo, and today we have a really zesty one for you. Possibly my most controversial video yet. Just saying, because today we're going to rank all of the most important 2000s angsty kid pop punk bangers. So if you're between the ages of like 24 and 28 and you took the school bus as a kid, strap in because this one's for you. Okay, so the way I have this set up is our S tier is titled Top Punk. See what I did there? A tier is for Angus Chungai. No, wait, all right, there we go. A tier is Ascended Chungai. That's Chungai, the plural of Chungus. We have our B tier, which is Big Chungai. We have our C tier, which is just Chungai. Again, plural of Chungus. And we have our D tier, which is Diminished Chungai, which is again, the plural of Chungus. And then our F tier is entitled For Trash. So I put together this list of what I thought were the most important kind of songs of the era. If there are any songs that are not on here that you think should have been, comment down below. I would say that this list is in no particular order, but it is in alphabetical order. First up, we have 1985 by Bowling for Soup. This song is a pretty interesting narrative. I mean, at least in my experience growing up, I've experienced many awkward parents, and I've also experienced many people who are just kind of insecure with the aging process. So I think this song really does a good job of getting that story across. And musically, I think there's some chromatics in there that are pretty cool. So for that, and also since this is the first one on the list, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a C for Chungai. So following that, getting right into the A category, we have All the Small Things by Blink-182, which this song came out on the record in 1999 and then was released as a single itself in 2000, so you know, still counts. So here's a song from everyone's favorite alien hunter, Tom DeLonge, you know, and kind of the voice of the genre, right? That said, I think it's been kind of overplayed over the years, and I don't think there's enough going on interesting in the music that really warrants it to be any higher than like an average tier. I would say this is the pop punk song, right? I'm gonna also put this in C for Chungai, but I'm gonna put it above 1985. To follow that one up, we have what is potentially one of the most entertaining political songs of all time, American Idiot by Green Day. Kind of along with Smoke on the Water, this is one of those first power chord songs that you kind of learn on the guitar, but also like the writing is just kind of really cheeky and it accomplishes what it is sets out to do. Not only that, it's an iconic riff, it's an iconic song. I am gonna go ahead and make this our first B tier for Big Chungai. That's the plural of Chungus. Immediately following this in the alphabetical order is Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day. I walk alone, I walk alone. So get ready for the I Walk Alone 10-hour mix on this channel. This one's kind of tough. I used to hate this song because I thought the only words were I walk alone. That's at least the vibe that it gave me on my middle school bus trips. That said, I think this is the least interesting musically of the Green Day songs that are on this list. Certainly the least political, you know, but that said, I think it's one of the more entertaining ones. So I'm also going to give this a B, and I'm going to put it above American Idiot. I know, hot take. We'll have those. We take those. All right, moving on. Check Yes Juliet by We the Kings, our second one-hit wonder of the tier list. I just really love this song. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I just really love this song. Not only does it have high meme-hood, but it's a fun song to belt. You know, it's within guys' range, it's within girls' range, and people can just sing it. They can just do it. That said, I also heard a story about this song. Someone that I know saw We the Kings live, and they said that they performed this song at the top of their set and also as the very last song in their set. And that just gives me big Check West playing Mo Bamba 10 times at Made in America energy. And I really like that. I really love when bands just embrace the songs that kind of get them up there, you know? For that and for the beltability, I am going to give this song our first A tier. This song is Ascended. Yeah, I'll stick with that. Jumping immediately into the letter D, we are going to have our second Blink-182 song of the list, and that is Damn It. Actually, this song came out in 1996, but I really like it, so I'm keeping it on the list. This is one of those songs that doesn't have the finesse to it that the other Blink-182 songs on this list do, but it does have a certain je ne sais quoi that some of these other songs kind of don't have. Mainly because, you know, Mark Hoppus singing on this song, it's really not refined. And on top of that, I think Blink-182 still had their old drummer at the time, Scott Rayner, before they got Travis Barker. So there's just kind of a more like kind of basement punk feel to it. You know, for those of you who have been to basement shows, this could easily have been played at some of those. And for that, you know, it just seems like you know these people, you know the people who wrote this song. Like, you may not know them specifically, but you know them, you've met them. I'm gonna give it a B, but it's at the top of the B tier. Don't get me wrong, this is a great song. All right, next up. Oh, folks, I think we have our first top punk, our first S tier of the tier list, in the form of Dear Maria, Count Me In by All Time Low. I actually saw this band open up for Blink-182, and they just put on a stellar performance. They might be at the top of the charts right now. I think, is it Monsters? They have a song called Monsters out with Black Bear. Really good song. Actually, that whole record is very good. Go give it a listen. Musically, the delivery and the tonality, man, it just gets me going. I don't know why. It's just very high energy. Yeah, for that reason, it is top punk. Next. Oh my God, 2 in a row, baby. We got another top punk in the form of Everything Is Alright by Motion City Soundtrack. I think this song really captures the energy of kind of like anxiety, but with the small a. So just kind of a general like anxious feeling. For that reason, I put this above Dear Maria, because both musically and lyrically, I think it really takes the cake. Not to mention that Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy is on the bridge of this song, and I think that's one of my favorite pop punk bridges ever. Next, the one thing that's funny about Face Down is that the intro gives off Aha Take On Me vibes. Like, do it. Go back and listen. Pause this video right now and go listen to Face Down, just that beginning part. You'll see what I mean. This song just came into my personal zeitgeist maybe a little bit too late. I know there are some people who have some nostalgia for this song, but in terms of its impact on my personal life, that's kind of non-existent. You know, I played it in college and I never really heard it before that. And as a result, I'm gonna have to put this in diminished Chungai, because I would rather listen to all of these other songs before it, with the exception of 1985. I think I have to move 1985 down below Face Down, because I would rather listen to Face Down. All right, Fat Lip by Sum 41 is a pretty interesting track. I think that they tried to do for pop punk what Limp Bizkit and kind of others around the mid-2000s were doing for nu metal, and I think they really succeeded in this song. Obviously, like, everyone knows Fat Lip, but that said, does it hold up to some of the others on this list? I don't think so, and I think for that reason, I'm gonna consider this song average. I would rather listen to this song over All the Small Things, because All the Small Things is so overplayed, and Fat Lip is something that I really haven't heard in much music otherwise. But would I rather listen to all of the other songs above it? Yes, I would. All right, and with their, I believe, final appearance on this list, we have Holiday by Green Day. Let's be real, this is one of the most creative uses of the 4 chords, mainly because they do what I believe is a secondary dominant at the end of some of the phrases, and that just kind of changes it up and keeps it interesting. You know, plus this song does what I can only refer to from my time in jazz band as stop time, which I think is really cool. You know, just the rhythm section just kind of going at it.
The representative from California now has the floor.
Man, this song is just so catchy and so entertaining. I have to put this up there. I think this is an A tier. I think this song is ascended. Is it as ascended as Check Yes Juliet? No, simply because Check Yes Juliet has just a higher fun factor. I just like to have fun. And what do we have next?
Ooh, baby, we got some good-looking girls.
I think we have our third top punk because the next song on this list is I Write Sins, Not Tragedies by Panic at the Disco. 2005 was a great year for pop punk. You know, we had From Under the Cork Tree and we had A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. And I think it's funny that Fall Out Boy and Panic often get confused. Not so much now. I think Patrick Stump's voice nowadays is more like toward the back of his like throat, and Brendan Urie's voice is more toward like the bottom of his throat. That's so weird to say. That's so stupid to say. If you guys understand what I'm saying, comment below. I love this song. Not for anything, but I have a lot of friends around my age who are getting married, and at every single one of their weddings, even if I don't say it to them, but I do say it to somebody, I always just say, "What a beautiful wedding." And just for that memeability alone, this is a great song, but also, you know, it tells a story. It's very consonant. The delivery is great. I love Brendan Urie's voice. Has a good kind of like bridge section. Has the right amount of hooks in it, the right amount of things to kind of draw you in. And also it just has that beltability. You know, when you're in a crowd of people, you kind of need that. And so, yeah, this is the top of the top, baby. This is the peak for now. And from the peak, we now ascend directly to the depths, because next up on the list is I'm Just a Kid by Simple Plan. I think Simple Plan might be the most well-known group on this list that I also don't have nostalgia for. When I was doing my research, this is one of those songs that I got all the way through, but barely. The bar for angst is just so low. You listen to these songs for the angsty stuff, but I just think this goes so far below that bar. It's like, it's just so whiny. It's too whiny. It's too whiny. And I'm not talking about the vocal delivery. I'm talking about literally the lyrics. Look, I know I said I don't listen to the lyrics, but if they're that bad, they really just take away from the song. That said, high memeability for this track. I could listen to the I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. I could listen to that for days, but just that. The rest of the song, too much for me, too melodramatic. I'm gonna have to throw this in the for trash. And following that up is the more melodic of the two Sum 41 tracks that we have on here, and that is In Too Deep. I think I like this one a little bit better than Fat Lip. Fat Lip has a more iconic guitar riff, but this song is just kind of easier to justify. I am going to have to put this above American Idiot, but below Boulevard of Broken Dreams in the B tier. Hot take, yeah. Don't love American Idiot, that's okay. Okay, next up. This might be one of the lesser known songs on this list, but I really like it. And this song is Make Damn Sure by Taking Back Sunday. I saw Taking Back Sunday open for Coheed and Cambria, and they put on a really great show. Adam Lazzara still has it. It's unfortunate. I think the backup guy from this song, the I trip over everything you say. Yeah, I don't think he's with the band anymore, but still, they played the shit out of this song. I do really like the call and response that this song gives. We see that on some other songs in this list, mainly Everything Is Alright in the bridge. I'm gonna have to put this in top punk, but I'm gonna put it above Dear Maria. I think it's important that Dear Maria stays at the bottom of the top punk tier. Okay, next up is Misery Business by Paramore. It's a song that the band themselves no longer play. As much as I really love this song, I do think it's kind of old news in that way. And so, yeah, I'm gonna have to put this at the top of the C tier. If not for anything else, just because the band is still doing a lot of things nowadays, and not only that, they're doing it really well. And here we have our Soul Guitar Hero 3 representative, and that is Miss Murder by AFI. I have not listened to any other AFI songs besides this one, but man, this song is a slapper. Oh, this song slaps. The hook's really catchy, but the bridge, they just do an entire change. If you just showed me that bridge in a vacuum, I would think it's a totally different song. It just kind of descends into like madness, and I eat it up every time. I think I'm gonna have to say that this song is ascended, so I'm gonna put it in A tier. Yeah, this is the top of the A tier. Miss Murder's the top of the A tier. Oh baby, coming out of my cage, I'm coming out of my cage, coming out of my cage, I'm coming out of my cage, I'm coming out of my cage, coming out of my cage, coming out of my cage. Holy shit. I love Mr. Brightside. which is funny because the Killers were another band that I just really didn't like for a long time, but man, they are doing good stuff currently. But also Mr. Brightside is just an absolute classic, an absolute bop. In college, my friends and I, whenever this song would come on, we just said "Coming Out of My Cage" a billion times. Like literally the whole song was just "Coming Out of My Cage." I'm gonna have to put Mr. Brightside in top punk, right below Everything Is Alright. It's a little more pop than punk, that's for sure, but it's a banger nonetheless. And I think it has all the characteristics of the genre as far as I can tell. All right, next. I believe this is the sole representative from the first 3 rock bands. I think it's Rock Band 2, if I'm not mistaken. It is My Own Worst Enemy by Lit. I believe it's Lit. I don't think it's L-I-T. I think it's Lit. It's Lit! Someone called Travis Scott. This song borders on dad rock, but it has all the makings of a pop punk track, so I'm keeping it on the list. If you disagree, put it in the comments below. I would love to have a conversation about it because I really don't get to talk about these things too much. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. As a result of it kind of not being pop punk, but still being a major part of the zeitgeist, I'm gonna have to put this in the B tier above Damn It. Above average, below ascended. Yep, that's where it is. Wonder if his cigarette is still burning. Folks, we've reached an important time here. I think I'm gonna have to move Dear Maria down to Ascended because our next song is Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card. Definitely top punk. That song is definitely top punk. It's above Mr. Brightside. It's above Everything Is Alright. It is not above I Write Sins, Not Tragedies, but man, it is a great, great song. Not for anything, but I think this might be the first fiddle appearance. My college a cappella group sang this song. It started as someone's senior solo, but then we kept it around for several years after that because it was just so good, and pop punk generally treated our group very well. You know, I think their creativity really shows, especially with the fiddle as a fixture of their band. So yeah, top punk. Okay, so Welcome to the Black Parade is gonna be a bit of a controversial pick for me. You know, I really like the cinematic aspect to it. I think for sure it's one of the most emotional songs on this list. But that said, it doesn't really get super fun until Gerard Way just starts singing, "We'll carry on, we'll carry on." That said, it does have one of the most creative key changes I've ever heard because they didn't flex. They just like put it like in the middle of the bridge and then they go into the hook and everyone in the audience is like, wait, why can't I sing this anymore? They didn't do the typical like, here, peasants, take a key change. I lost the guitar pick. But still, this song's just like really sad. So Welcome to the Black Parade, I'm gonna put it above All the Small Things, but below Fat Lip. And I'm gonna move Misery Business down below Black Parade. All right, Shut Up by Simple Plan is probably bottom 2 for the known factor, meaning that I don't really think this was a particular hit from Simple Plan. However, I did grow up with this song. I heard this song for the first time at the Kids' Choice Awards one year, and I could not stop listening to it, whatever year that was. Coincidentally, I think that's the last time I watched the Kids' Choice Awards. Shut Up, I think, is the least kind of victim-y Simple Plan song that I personally have heard. I think as a result, I'm gonna have to put this again in the C tier, but I'm putting it below Black Parade. Here we've come to a bit of a crossroads, because we have a song from the former Mrs. Kroger herself, Avril Lavigne. We have Skater Boy. He was a boy, she was a boy. He was a boy, she was a boy. Maybe again a little bit more pop than punk because it's very kind of produced. You know, Avril Lavigne's a pop star, right? Like she's not really like a punk star, at least, you know, she's not now. I think in the mid 2000s, you could get away with this being a pop punk song. There is a little bit of dissonance in some of the chords that they chose, which is part of the reason why I don't consider it to be like a full-on pop song. You know, that's also why something like Complicated is not on this list. I think this record was titled Let Go, to which I would respond, let's go. I'm gonna move Misery Business down below Face Down, and I'm gonna move All the Small Things down above Face Down in the diminished Chungai. I'm gonna put Skater Boy above Shut Up, but under Black Parade. Okay, folks. next up on the list, we have a song that's very important to me. Possibly the song that I've been listening to for the longest, and I assure you that does go into my bias. And that is Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy. Again, 2005 was just kind of this year where like we got a lot of good music like between 05 and 07. And I just remember like this came out and like it was a bop then, it's a bop now. The Mutton Chops Patrick Stump era, I think was probably my favorite for Fall Out Boy. Even though they're still doing really good stuff, I think that was probably my favorite era. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Sugar We're Going Down is not only top punk, but it is the toppest of punks. And I'm no longer saying so far, because who am I kidding? I went into this list knowing it was gonna be the top. I'm just a notch in your bedpost, but you're just a line in a song. That's one of the most cutting bars that I have ever heard. That's some r/rare insults shit. I still have no clue what the hook in this song means, so if you know what I'll be your number one with a bullet means, put it in the comments. I have no clue. I have no clue what that means. Next up is Teenage Dirtbag. I've actually really wanted to talk about this song. Apparently, from what I have heard, from what I've read, Wheatus, the band that made Teenage Dirtbag, there was some kind of issues with the master tracks of the song, and so they re-recorded the whole thing. And actually, I think they re-recorded the entire album in 2020. Not only did they re-record it, they re-recorded it from quarantine, and it sounds really close. I mean, I've listened to Teenage Dirtbag so many times that like I kind of noticed those like little minute differences, but like if you're at a party or something, if you're with people who like don't seek out this genre of music, you can get away with playing the new version and it sounds really high quality, it sounds really good, and it sounds like pretty close. All of these songs are fun to belt, but I think this has a certain factor to it just for the quality of Brendan Brown's voice. Wait, how many Brendans are on this list? Brendan Urie? I guess it's Brandon Flowers. Brendan Brown. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go with my gut on this one, and I'm gonna put this song in Ascended Chungai. I'm gonna put this in the A tier. I'm gonna put it above Check Yes Juliet, but below Miss Murder. And I think that's a very comfortable slot for it. All right, following that up, we have another song that's really fun to belt in The Great Escape by Boys Like Girls. I'm gonna put this in the C tier, but I'm gonna put it at the top of the C tier. I think it deserves it. I think it just deserves it. Next up, we have another song that's a little bit more pop than punk, and that is The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, not to be confused by The Middle by Zedd. Coincidentally, one of my favorite pop songs of the past like 5 years. But unfortunately, we're not talking about that song. We're talking about this song. So, you know, we're just taking some time. In a minute, in a middle, I don't know the words. You see, I think a lot of people know this song, and I think a lot more people know this song than some of the other songs on this list. And for cultural impact alone, it would rank pretty high, but unfortunately, it doesn't give me that same sense of like homegrownness that some of these other songs do. I'm gonna put this in the C tier, right below Skater Boy, primarily because I think it was a little overplayed and it's a little kind of generic sounding. Okay, and here we have the final Fall Out Boy entry for this list, and that is Thanks for the Murmurs. I always read this title as Thanks for the Murmurs. I don't know who let them title their songs this way, but I love it. I love everything about it. A great follow-up to From Under the Cork Tree. This song has kind of that cinematic aspect, and it also has the Patrick Stumpitude and the Pete Wentzitude. You know, it has that Fall Out Boy energy, but I don't think it quite measures up to Sugar. I don't think it quite measures up to really anything in the top punk tier. I think it is ascended. So I am gonna put this above Dear Maria because I really do love this song. Great bridge, great song. We're getting near the end. I think that we've gotten all of the really good songs out of the way. But now we're about to talk about a very special song on this list because it's the worst song on this list. And that is Welcome to My Life by Simple Plan. That's going right in the for trash. I was doing my research for this list and I could not even get through this song. Again, I have no nostalgia for this song, no nostalgia for this band, with the exception of that Kids' Choice Awards story. Like I said for I'm Just a Kid, the bar for angst and whininess is already so low that when you go too far below that, it really is a turnoff. Okay, next up is What's My Age Again? Probably my favorite of the Blink songs on this list. I'm not gonna pull any punches with this. When I turned 23, it was a couple years ago, I just didn't stop singing this song, and actually my friends didn't like me at the time. I think this song is a solid top of the B tier. I think I'm totally fine with that. And of course, the last song on this list is very self-explanatory. So much so that I'm making a new category for it. And here it is. That's right. In the Subhuman Trash category, boom, there it is. And there you have it, the 2000s Angsty Kid Pop Punk tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. What'd you think? Do you agree? Do you vehemently disagree? Do you not care? Do you aggressively not care? Whatever it is, put it in the comments. I would love to start a dialogue about this because I think these songs need to be talked about more. Are there any songs that you didn't see on this list? Put them in the comments as well. I will also leave a link in the description so that you can make your very own version of this tier list. And when you do, make sure that you post it on Twitter and tag me at All Hail Buckets. Spotify and socials are in the description, so if you would like to, follow me there. And here is your reminder to like, share, and subscribe, and most importantly, share. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tune in for the next one where we bring the sounds of New Jersey to God of War. And with that, have a good day, everybody. See you later.